Hey guys, I'm Jeff from the Track Shack.
I'm Alex, Resolute Running. You know, we've reached that time of year, it's just hot. It's just hot. Whether it's humidity or temperatures, it doesn't really matter. When you run, it's hot.
And it was awful at your run, by the way.
Yeah, he's talking about the Pealine Falls run. It was hot. It is a 4th of July run in Alabama, so if it's 50 degrees, we have bigger problems. There's something going on.
It's true.
But you know, here's the challenge, and this is kind of the focus of this episode. So very quick anecdotal story. The other day I went for a run. I wanted to go for a run. I have 3 pairs of shoes that I really keep in rotation. You know, I believe in rotating, and we'll talk about that in a second. I went to grab that pair of shoes, and they were wet from the previous run. I'm like, oh, that's kind of nasty. I grabbed the other pair, they were wet. And I grabbed the third, they were all wet. 4 days removed, and my shoes were still soaking from that run, which my wife loves me because of this, let me tell you.
It's pretty gross.
So today, let's talk about, number 1, how can we stop some of that sweat collecting in our shoes and the technology that helps that.
Yep.
Then number 2, when your shoe is soaking wet, what do you need to do?
Yep.
Take it away, what do we do?
Well, first, you know, any running shoe, any good running shoe, honestly, is mostly mesh upper, so it's going to allow some airflow through.
Yep.
You'll see some fancier things, larger holes and stuff like that allow more airflow, but good running shoes, good airflow.
Okay.
But as you know, in July and August in Alabama, it does very little. So what I do when I get home, I take my shoes off. Make sure you untie your shoes first before you take your shoes off. And I'll take the insole out.
Okay.
All your good running shoes have a removable insole. A lot of you use over-the-counter orthotics. I know I do as well. Take them out, put them in front of a box fan, put them on top of an AC vent, which hopefully not in your bedroom or anything like that, but somewhere where they can dry really quickly. Okay. What that does is, you know, getting rid of the moisture right away actually helps with the stink. It helps keep that stink away longer. So eventually they're all going to stink, but it helps a little bit. So all these good shoes have insoles that are removable. So.
And you want to make sure you loosen up the strings and pull the tongue up a little bit and try to create as much airflow as possible.
Yeah, I just open it up and I set the fans here, I set it here, airflow through, dries them out.
Nice. Now, what about, I've heard of sticking newspaper in there. Can that help?
Yeah, I mean, I used to do that in college, but then you forget. If you don't change the newspaper out, then it just sits in there wet. You know, so it does help a little bit, but you've got to be diligent about it. Change the newspaper out, put some more in there. So.
And as far as rotating shoes, how many do you recommend we have in rotation?
I mean, a lot of you think that this is the shoe salesman's ploy to get you to buy more shoes, and we think that you should rotate shoes for other reasons. But for me, 2 pairs I think is good if you do the box fan thing, because typically I rotate a lot of shoes, obviously, but typically it takes a day for them to to dry out. You know, so I think 2 pairs is a good rotation
minimum. Okay.
Yeah. I like your 3 pairs though.
I do like 3 pairs. If you looked at my closet, I'd be a little embarrassed. It's probably, there's a lot in there. And then lastly, 2 quick things. If you are sweating that much or you're getting caught in the rain, same principle, take care of your feet. You know, you're much more prone to chafing, much more prone to blisters. And just like the Body Glide or the Skin Saki or whatever that thing is called that you put on the rest of your body, you can put it on your feet as well.
Yeah, and I tell folks that, you know, if you blister, it's kind of weird that a blister will pop up. It's usually summer related because of the moisture or whatever. And so go ahead and start wearing Body Glide at the beginning of the summer or Skin Saki, either one of the 2. So.
And then lastly, and I don't know if you can see this thing.
Oh no!
All right, see that sock right there? See how high that is? It's not that Jeff is cool. It's Jeff sweats a lot, and those higher socks catch the sweat before it hits the shoe.
So that's my theory. I think that compression socks and taller socks catch the sweat, and there's less going into your shoe.
Could be.
Although if you sweat as much as I do,
it doesn't really matter. All right. So there's a couple ideas on how to keep your feet and your shoes in healthy condition. Rotate those shoes, keep them dry, wear taller socks, put some anti-blister medication or whatever you want to call it on your feet.
Yep.
And then just grin and bear it. What else do you do, right?
That's it.
All right. Do you have anything else?
No, man.
All right, guys. Stay dry out there.
Bring up.